Hello? Hello, is this thing on? Good. My name is Chrysalis. I am a student at Freedom Academy. I am 18 years old, and I recently moved here after my unfortunate accident. I guess we should, start at the beginning since it's a school project to record our origin stories so we're more comfortable with our powers. My story begins when I would say, a little younger, 2 years ago, when I first heard about a new legacy. Uh, she was just this amazing heroine who just went out of her way to help others. I've seen her stop a plummeting monorail, or destroying a barren blade bot with merely her eye beams, or even taking a powerful blow from, who was it again? He looked red and he looked very mean. Grand Warlord Voss. Ah, thank you. Anyway, I was just enamored of her. I started to follow her compulsively. All the stories, all the fights. I went out of my way to research not just her heroics. I looked out for her rogues gallery too, and she had quite a few of them. But the most, it's kind of weird if you think about it. It's like a comic brought to life. You are just eager to see your hero go up against their nemesis. From that day on, I dreamed of getting superpowers of my own, just so it can take up the mantle and help fight the good fight like Legacy does. But I grounded myself in reality. You see, unlike Legacy or the other heroes, I wasn't born with metagenetics or superpowers. I didn't have any magical artifacts, nor any way to acquire power anyway. Hell, I could barely hold myself in a fight. At most, the best I could do was being sneaky, and this comes into part later. But, yeah, as we come to modern day, this is the later part I mentioned. You see, I when no one's looking, I like to sneak into old abandoned places that people forgot. Yes, I know it's illegal, and yes, it's dangerous, but I can't help it. The thrill, the buzz of adventure, exploring some long forgotten place, it just it feels like I'm on an adventure. Sneaking around from bad guys, looking around, investigating old documents, and unfortunately, this is how my accident happened. You see, I was investigating a abandoned Pikes Peak facility. I was I've always heard legends and rumors that this was where the plague rat was spawned from. Granted, I don't know if that's true or not. What I do know, however, is that whatever was going on was shady, even by Rook City standards. So, when it was after dark, I put on my usual clothing, which was dark for concealment. I snuck in over the fence and just went in to explore the factory. And let's just say the rumors were true. The place was just filled with chemicals. I could barely breathe. I At times I was just struggling to not vomit. The smell was that bad. The air was just thick with this gaseous fog. And I had a like gas protection on, which I take with me sometimes just in case there's asbestos or other dangerous gases. And the fact that it was powerful enough that my gas mask was not doing much, it knew I couldn't stay in there too long. I was exploring the catwalk where it crumbled beneath my feet and I was hanging on over a green vat of goo. I then saw a ginormous rat. It was the size of a cat. It was nibbling at my fingers and I tried to hold on, but in the end I fell in and it burned. It was like a searing hot chemical flame. I thought I was going to die, but fortune have it, Legacy heard me screaming in agony and she rescued me. However, whatever was in that vat had changed me forever. In the hospital, my DNA was just changing by itself, shifting into different forms and modes like if it was clay. I couldn't control it at the time, and when I eventually woke up, I was met with Legacy and some lawyers. They said that they weren't going to press charges if I was sent to Freedom Academy, in which I royally accepted because I was eager to have my chance to become a hero. Looking back, I sometimes wonder, was it an accident? Could I have done something differently and not fell in? Or was it destiny? I legitimately do not know. What I do know is that I am here now, and I have powers, and I plan to use them for the betterment of mankind. If, of course, my arm doesn't turn into a huge tentacle again. After the accident, I have to wear a special suit that contains my DNA, makes it easier for me to control my own DNA so I can mold it, change it. How do I put it? I am like clay with my DNA. I can turn my arm into a tentacle. I can grow ant antennas out of my head and take on the strength of an ant. I could even, if I wanted to, turn my hands into the claws of a wolf's. I could even turn my body into a different form if I wanted to. I could take on the form of Legacy if I so desired. I could turn into a ginormous kestrel or a vulture. One time, as a funny prank for Halloween, I shapeshifted into a werewolf and gave good people a good scare. Unfortunately, it was a scare that was so bad, Pinion had to get involved, along with the other members of Dark Watch. I explained to them that it was just a prank, but dear Lord, did Expatriate chew me out for it. But I think that's about everything I have to cover. This is Chrysalis, over and out.